Sherie, and I'm an alcoholic addict.
Welcome to Recovering Addict. My name is Jake. I'm a recovering substance user.
And I'm Sherie, and I'm an alcoholic. Sober today.
And tonight we are going to discuss working our recovery with our children. Do a comparison of sorts, start with addiction, what our lives looked like, how our children reacted to our drug use, to our alcohol use, and and then go into what life looks like now and how we incorporated our children into our recovery. So I have a list here. So
guide.
Yes, a guide. We can stick to that. We'll probably veer off into various directions. Let's.
That's so good. That's what we do.
Yeah.
That's our work on it.
We'll greet the chat real quick. We got Nicole R. Rolo. Is that Rolo? Remember those Rolo commercials where how did it go? It was like, I remember one, they were in like a movie theater and there was like some grandpa business. Like grandpa always had Rolos, and they're just like somebody got a Rolo in a movie theater and then like remember their grandpa. And so it was like this really compassionate commercial to sell candy.
Oh, so it was different in Australia. We had these things called jaffles. It's like a hard-coated chocolate ball, and used to roll the jaffles down the aisle.
What, like coins?
No, chocolate. Hard-coated chocolate. And they were called jaffers. You roll them down the aisle.
Oh, interesting.
No, weird.
Yeah. Jamie. Good evening, Jamie.
Hey,
We got Tracy here.
Hi, Tracy.
Michelle H.
Yes, from Canada. Hello. Long time no see.
I thought she changed. So she changed her thing. Is this the same Michelle? Is this Michelle Hotel Levine Martin?
Yep, that's the one and only.
Des.
Hey, Desi.
We got Christopher Lopez here. Lopez.
Hello.
Wow.
Welcome.
I messed that up. PD. Share Squad.
He's with us again. Woo.
Epi's here. 80s commercials. All he says is 80s commercials. Oh, he did say the Jake and Sherie show. Hello. Debbie Tucker. That's a new name for me.
Hi, Debbie.
We got Mo in Florida.
Mo.
Daz Jose's here. She's actually, I believe she's in Layton, Utah.
Nice and close.
Yeah.
She could come to the in-person meetings you're having.
If she wanted to, they're Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Iron House in Ogden. We do a workout and a meeting. If you are interested, you can do one, both, or either or. Up to you. It's always a pleasure to see Marilyn in the chat. I think if I'm correct in my thinking, I think she's been watching from the beginning.
I believe so too. I believe so too.
And another exciting announcement. I don't know if LT shared this or not. We got some new merch. We got new hats. Oh, that's the wrong side. Right there. New hats.
Oh, that looks cool at the back.
Yeah. With the RA on the side, we got Zippos. Badass. Oh, shit, I dropped it. You know, we got dog tags. RA dog tags.
Oh, I'll
You
have to
know,
get me some of those.
yeah, I'm not sure if they're on the website yet or not, but they should be soon. They should be soon. Oop, Felice is here.
Hey, beautiful. I miss you.
So, what was life like in your home during your addiction?
Yeah, so for me, okay, so most of you know I've got kids. So I have 4 kids, 2 girls, 2 boys. Um, I was lucky I didn't lose them. You know, some people in this program and in this community have lost their children and have to fight to get them back. I was super lucky not to have that happen to me. But, you know, my children did have to put up with a lot and see a lot of unnecessary things, you know, whether it was the funny, stupid Sherie while I was drunk or whether it was the crazy, asshole, arrogant bitch that came out, you know,
Mm-hmm.
or just sobbing sessions. You know, I had many personalities, multiple personalities whilst drinking. It was depending on the mood and, you know, what was going on at the time. So they saw a lot and they put up with a lot. And quite often, you know, I was at home alone with them while my husband was out at band. And so, you know, I kind of sort of put them in a bit of a sticky situation as well because, you know, if something had happened, I wasn't able to take them to the hospital and all that sort of thing. So it was really very selfish, very, very selfish. Um, and, you know, I would, if they had friends over and I was, you know, in my element, off on my little la la land, um, I would be embarrassing them because I had no inhibitions. So, yeah, my 2 boys, the younger ones, they sort of took it as it was, but the 2 older ones, they had a bit more knowledge and thinking, you know, why is mum acting this way and why is she doing this and doing that? And so they would question me, and I always had excuses, you know. So, and I'll tell you an instance. So there was one good drinking friend that I was with, and I had my oldest daughter wanted to stay home that night, so I took the 3 youngest with me, and we had, you know, we're having a session, and my youngest daughter, she was probably, she's very straightforward and very straight down the line, you know. So, you know, and she would say to me, Mum, why are you hanging out with this girl? And I said, because I'm having fun, rah, rah, rah. And so anyway, I had way too much to drink. So I called a taxi and got the kids in the car and off we went home. And so I got in trouble because then the next day I had to go back and get my car. And I thought, oh, you know, I was being responsible by getting a taxi and not driving. So what do I do the next week? Me and my selfish self thought, well, you know, I'm not going to get in trouble again. So I just drove home with the kids in the car. So, and that sort of really was an eye opener because it's a very unsafe, very selfish, very pathetic and disgusting thing to do. You know, I put my children at risk. You know, and I didn't really care about myself if I died, but I, you know, obviously opened my eyes to say, well, hold on a minute, this isn't good. And when I came to the rooms and I learnt about the yets, you know, and the progression of the illness, all right, so what was it going to take, you know, for me to get even more out of control and then have an accident and things like that? So it was a really good eye opener.
Yeah, and during my addiction, my kids had to experience with dad disappearing for days. You know, I never used around my kids. You know, the way when my trauma cycle decides to reenact itself, it's no. There's I I disappear into the shame closet, you know, like there's no way, you know, they my older children have seen dad coming down, but and I think Drake was too young to remember, but I would disappear, and that was something that they had to deal with, and like, I tried to stay clean. I tried to, not run to the dope house whenever stress would overwhelm me, or, life, trying to live life on life's terms just got to be too much. And like, nope, I can't do this. Or I was so overworked that, like, there were times that I was working 2 jobs and I would come home and I was expected to continue working, come home to a honey-do list. And it's like, I just put in a 20-hour day and I've been doing this for months. And like, I'll admit there were some times I would relapse just so I could lose a job, just so that I could not be so overwhelmed. And it was rough. It was rough. And my kids, they lost respect for me. And it took a long time to get that back. And they were, I don't know, I could see an anxiety in their faces when I would leave. And because they weren't sure if dad was coming back tonight. I was always in a state of chronic stress, like always. Like, it didn't matter. It didn't matter. And, it was 2019 that my oldest daughter, my only daughter, she pointed out that I had a 6-month cycle. About every 6 months, I would disappear for a day or two.
Very perspective of her. They've got an intuition, haven't they?
Yeah, well, I think she was actually timing it. Like, she was actually timing it and shit. But I'm going to put that down, because I feel that's really loud. I'm going to switch over to the coin. And so it's taken a lot of work, and my relationship with my oldest daughter is still a little bit strained because of, other things, other choices, other perspectives and mindsets. But like, she knows that I'm committed to this thing, and through that commitment, like, there's opportunity to heal and to mend and to nurture and to, build a better, stronger relationship, and then my boys, the 2 that I have home with me, they trust me. They know what I'm doing. They know what I'm about. They know that I'm about this. And so I can leave and they know dad's coming back, like, but I still get reminders. Like, if I leave upset and don't communicate what I'm doing, they sort of smash on the panic button and are like, oh shit, oh no. Like, And that happened 4 to 6 weeks ago. They were worried that I wasn't coming back, and like blew up my phone until I answered, and I was really just spending some time with my girlfriend and forgot to communicate.
And that's so important, you know, whether it's with your children, your partner, or just communicating in general. Communication is key for any relationship.
Yeah, Epi says built trust is quite the accomplishment.
You know, it takes a lifetime to build it, but you can lose it in a second. And then to gain it back, you know, it's so much effort and work.
Yeah. And then
I need the glasses to read it.
I was going to read it to you.
Oh, that's all right.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, definitely the guilt and shame, you know.
Oh.
And so if I went on a whole
when I read it out loud.
Okay, yep, go for it.
I feel you. As my kids became adults, I used with them and they became my suppliers. What's so sad, I had so much guilt and shame. Recovery. They respect me now and call me super sober mom.
Awesome. Yeah, see, and another important lesson I learned during that, you know, is I was my children's friend. I wanted to be the cool mum, and I was a friend. And so, you know, I sort of didn't probably parent as well as I should have. Whereas now, I'm first and foremost, I'm their parent, and then I'm their friend. You know, it's really changed it around for me in a good way, in an absolutely good way, you know, because they do need guidance. And how can you guide them when you're in addiction? You just don't. So, hold on, excuse me.
Can I, you said do dishwasher?
No, I've done it. Sorry, excuse me. See, life on last turns, children. And they know better.
Yeah, do they?
Now.
2 times. Are you sure they understand what you were doing right now?
Yeah, one of them just wanted to give me the tweezers, you know.
Oh. Ask for the sink. See if they'll bring you the kitchen sink.
And the other one, yeah, he was supposed to do the dishwasher, empty it 2 days ago, and then he decides he wants to do it now. I'm like, I've already done it, bro. Wasn't waiting for you.
Oh, yeah.
So what I was going to mention was, you know, so I'd go on this bender from Friday night, you know, the minute that I could, until whatever early hours of the morning on Sunday, for example, and then trying to just sleep the rest of the day off, not spending any time with them, you know. So there was more to just the side of, or the cause of them seeing what was happening at the time. I think that's the 3rd time, Jamie Lee, you know what I'm talking about. And but then I'd be hungover, grumpy and remorseful and feeling sick and seedy, and couldn't do anything with them anyway. So, you know, the whole weekend was gone and I wasn't spending any quality time with them. You know, so they had also to suffer the consequences of my actions as well. It's a really selfish disease.
Yeah, like there were several times that I would lose jobs for, you know, relapsing or, you know, and I put my family at risk of like being homeless or being
able to provide.
Yeah, not being able to provide. And, you know, there's various situations, but I created a lot of chaos. You know, there was long periods of time that, like, my daughter, she was really straight edger and was not about any of that, and like would actually get mad. Like there was a documentary and it was talking about this species of monkeys that would go and catch these centipedes and like really mess with the centipedes, and then it would like secrete this neurotoxin that the monkeys would like lick off of it to get high. And so I made some joke about wanting to go get centipedes, and she freaked out and didn't talk to me for like 2 weeks. Yeah. So
you were joking, but she took it seriously. And see, this is the other thing too. It's hard with their ages and their capability of, you know, being able to absorb what you're trying to explain, especially once you're sober. Yeah.
You know, and so
it's also the trust that brings up the trust too. You know, because for so many times you'll say, "Oh, sorry, you know, I won't do that again. I won't drink like that again," or what have you. And then the next session you get an opportunity, off you go again. You know, it was the empty promises. And for kids, I think that's really disheartening, because, you know, they do want to trust you, and you are their mum, you know, in my position. But then you go against what you've told them. So they just start not believing you and think you're just a liar, which, you know, you really are, because you're not sticking to your word.
Yeah. So what did you know? How did your children's behaviors change through your addiction?
To me, really, they were a little bit more withdrawn. You know, it was always coming to me to do things or what have you, but then when it would go on deaf ears, because I was just too interested in what I was doing and having my fun, you know, they stepped back, and I definitely noticed there wasn't so much need. And at the time, I just thought, oh, this is good. I'm getting a bit more freedom. You know, the crazy thinking. You know, when I look back at it now, I think, you know, it goes to show you how they can withdraw and, you know, not come to you for things that they should be.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, as again, you know, it's my second daughter who, over all of this, was probably the biggest affected, because she was sort of at an understanding age and, you know, going into the 11, 12 hormonal women stuff and everything. So, you know, she didn't have just that to deal with. She had her mother to deal with too. So, yeah. So she's been, you know, great in communicating and discussing things and understanding. But it probably took her a bit longer, you know, when I did the amends, it took her a bit longer to forgive me for the things that you know, she'd seen or been put through. But in saying that, she's probably the most proudest of me and the most supportive in what I'm doing. You know, she wrote me a beautiful letter when I hit my 1 year. You know, I've still got it. I've got it in the back of my workbook. And, you know, like, she tells everyone, oh, my mum's sober now. Like, she's really, really proud. So, you know, she's one extent to the other, really mad and angry at me, but then proud for what I'm doing, and she's seeing that I'm working it. So it does make a big difference, you know. And she'll say, oh, you're doing another meeting. And I'm like, yeah, darling. She goes, good on you, you know. And she actually has little chats with me and says, oh, you know, she knows all about the tools, and we've had lots of multiple conversations about the things that I've learnt and how it can be better. And, you know, she's very understanding in the sense that, oh, well, look, I can see how it's changing and you're becoming better, Mum. You know, what tips can you give me so that I can be better in my life? You know, and the other thing is that the statistics for Australia as well is, you know, 1 in every 4 person is going to have addiction of some sort. So you look at my family, I've got 4 kids. So there could be one of them that could have an addiction. And so there's only 3 that actually drink, and, you know, they drink like their dad. They have 1 or 2 and that's it. They're really good. They don't have a problem at all. But it's my last one who I'm not sure about, because he's only 17, so he's not really at that drinking age yet. He's had a couple with his dad just at home, and that's it, but nothing untoward. But who's to say that, there's drugs out there? So, I suppose the two youngest are more likely, in my mind, to have that opportunity and perhaps that.
Just because you're on the board.
But, if it's going to happen, it will happen. But at least now I feel blessed because I have a knowledge and an understanding. And if it does go down that road for, whatever reason, I will have tools that I can help them now. So I think I got off track. I don't know.
No, it's right in line. You covered how your children behaved during your addiction and then how they behave now. So you sort of took it to the, like you said, the extremes, and it's like, I really wish Cameron didn't just spray paint all over the porch because now I can just smell it. Just out there was painting a wastebasket, and so, my children disconnected. My children withdrew. They, didn't really respect me. And do you see this? Do you see John V poaching right now? I'll go one further. Jake and Sherie should do a regular spot on another show that may have elements of my last name.
All right. I'll make a date with you, JV, and I'll come on.
Oh, yeah. So, they disconnected. I incorporated my children into my recovery. Like I got my boys home full time, and I still had work to do. And so they would go with me to meetings. 2020. I did the 90 and 90. I did, hell, I even did, so when everything shut down for COVID, like the local Alano Club, shut its doors, because everything, stay at home order and all that stuff, whatever. And I actually had a group of people that I did a big book study with every morning for like 5 months.
Nice.
And, it was around my kitchen table or at another lady's house. We did that 7 days a week, and we would do that, and then we'd go to the meetings in the evening, at the nearby park. And now it's just we've just kept that energy going. And Drake comes with me to the gym when we do our meetings, our RA meetings. And he comes to hang out with Millie. Millie's his bestie. And I go to train, do recovery, and hang out with the Weavers, hang out with family. And that's how I keep my kids in my recovery, and I have, like, LT commented here, we took our kids to family group at my IOP, was open and honest with them. It was a great experience, and my story is just a little bit different. I have a DCFS in our lives right now, and we go to therapy. All three of us go to therapy once a week, and I did all of the therapy they wanted. Addressed all of the various obligations that they wanted, and
yep.
We go to meetings. I have those and I have conversations about drugs and conversations of come say hi to the internet.
Hello. Hey, Jake.
I know.
Bye. How'd your wastebasket go?
What?
Is it all colourful? Or is it one colour?
What?
His wastebasket, wasn't he spraying it?
Oh, no, Cameron was.
Oh, okay. Sorry, darling. Wrong son.
Yeah, it would have been different if he was out there spraying, messing with spray paint. I would have had to crack the window. No, he was in the shower. Huh. I love you, baby. Get out of here. So, and we still, hold on, retracing my steps. I lost my keys. So I have conversations about drugs. I have conversations about addiction, about, various psychological, subjects. Millie says hi. Tracy says hi. She loves you.
Hello.
Hello. Petey says, what up, Drake? He says the sky, Petey. But, oh, Debbie's been around here for a while. No.
Oh,
But,
looks like she missed Link as well.
Yes. But, so I'm very open and honest, and of course I keep it age appropriate. I don't get into like the nitty gritty, the minutia of things. And
absolutely,
like,
because what you can talk to Cam with, you can't talk to Drake with. So you have
correct.
to keep it in what they can absorb for their age level. So obviously some kids that are, say, 11 can take in a bit more than other kids. They're a bit more mature. But, what you tell a 11-year-old to an 18-year-old is totally different. It's, you don't lie, but you do withhold information just to protect them and, not to scare them and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah. And he knows a lot. Like, he's actually, hell, my girlfriend was having a hard day, and I don't know, I think the story she told me is that he noticed that she was having a hard day, and so he told her what he learned in school that day about the imaginary audience. And how's that go, Drake? The imaginary audience. Drake's en route. Here, tell the internet about the imaginary audience. Okay, sit in that chair. Tell them about the imaginary audience. You've been on camera enough, it doesn't matter. Nobody's actually watching us right now. Yeah, we're making a recording that's going to be put on YouTube later. Yeah.
It's just that I've popped in the background a couple times, but not actually been up here in camera view.
Yeah. You've been on camera a lot.
No, in camera view, like.
Okay. Anyway, so the imaginary audience.
The imaginary audience is like your brain is saying, like, when you pass different, like, other people at school, and they randomly start laughing, and you think they're laughing about you, and so the imaginary audience is basically, so you think that they are, but most of the time they aren't. And that's why bullies are, most bullies are, because they think, like, if you're in a group of friends and you guys randomly start laughing, they're laughing at him or her, and then they purposely target you and not other kids.
See? So when you, the imaginary audience is when you're going about your day and somebody laughs and you feel that it's directed towards you instead of, you know, so your perception is that it's targeting you when in all reality, it is probably absolutely nothing to do with you. It's just a coincidence that they're laughing, but there's that distorted perception of reality that, you know, creates those scenarios, you know. And so he was very attuned.
Yes,
You know,
well done,
very,
Jay.
very attuned, you know, and takes after his daddy and helps people when he notices that they're struggling, you know. Like he helps
And
me
that's
all the time.
good, darling, because you're being kind to someone else. So that's a really good personal quality to have. You keep it. That's beautiful.
You hear that? He said you're beautiful. Okay.
He's gone camera shy.
A little bit. He's being camera shy for sure. But so what? Yeah. Yeah, we'll edit this out. Okay, you're welcome. Yeah, that's not gonna happen because we're actually live. I didn't lie to you. It's also being recorded and going to be posted on YouTube later.
Oh.
I didn't lie to you. I was honest. I just chose which details to present.
Pinch him, Drake. I'll give you permission.
So anyway, yeah, the imaginary audience, you know, emotionally attuned, this guy helps people and, you know, he pays attention. Like he really does pay attention. Deception by Jake, Sunday nights at 10 p.m. Haha.
John, Jamie's quick. I thought that was John then. Put the glasses
Well, and
back
then
on.
Nicole, that's one way for open and honest communication. You know, he is very smart. You're getting compliments now, baby.
Mm.
You know, Tracy says, good job. LT says, very good boy. Good job, Drake. You know, Debbie says, precious guy. You know, Jamie also has felt that, has experienced that many times. Okay. Here, I need to get, sit up so you don't fall out of your chair. Okay. You're gonna be right there? Okay. You know, so huh? Okay. You know, so how did you incorporate your children into your recovery, Sherie?
So basically, they saw what I was doing. They saw the meetings that I was attending. They saw the studying and the reading of the big book and sitting down and working my steps. They saw it in person. And then they actually were involved because I made amends to each and every one of them. You know, so I didn't do it as a group because I had different amends to make for different things for each child. But, you know, I sat with them one-on-one and I went through, you know, the harm and the the hurt that I'd caused them, and you know, the guilt that I had for, you know, putting them in the situation, that sort of thing. And as I said, pretty much the 3 of them were on board, and they're like, yeah, you know, we forgive you, Mum, you know, we see that you're working it. It was just one of them that was a bit more hesitant, and she's better now, but I think she still needs more time. But that's just her. That's how she is, and you know, I'll give her whatever she needs, because at the end of the day, it was me that did it and put her in those positions. And you know, like I said before, your trust can be gone in a flash, and it takes time to get it back. So yeah, but she is happy. She is very proud as well, and she just needs a bit more time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so the other thing is too, you know, what I also wanted to try and express to people, especially newcomers, is that you got to find a balance, especially if you're a mum or a dad and you've got a family of children to be looking after, because you have to, you know, fit in work, fit in your recovery, fit in your children's wants and needs. You know, it's not always easy. You know, oh, I think that's 5. If I hit 5 on, you know, Jamie,
I wasn't counting. I wasn't counting.
Test today. There was probably, you know, a couple of months where I was doing meetings at dinner time, and so they were eating late and they weren't very happy with me. So I had to alter it a little bit. But it took me a few weeks to figure out, I am sort of, you know, when I did inventory, I'm putting my needs first. Okay, yes, it's recovery, but surely I can do it, you know, half an hour later after I've cooked. You know, it's making that juggle, that balance work.
Debbie says, you'll develop healthy, open honesty with them. #supermom.
Yeah.
Oh, it says, Sherie, that is so beautiful. A little out of order, but, you know, so what did the trust and relationship building process look like, you know, once you got in recovery? You know, I keep asking you questions, if you don't mind, I'll go first on this one.
Sure, go. Have a drink.
So, for me, the biggest part of developing trust and building the relationships was consistency. It was consistency and letting them have their voice. You know, teaching them that they have a voice worthy of being heard, that they are deserving of being seen. And that absolving my ego and also, like, a huge part was I don't know, it also helps that what I like to do also sort of like coincides with what my kids like to do. So if it's like, hey, you guys want to watch some anime, like we can just sit and watch anime and bond, you know, and that was by design. My kids like anime because I watched so much anime that they got hooked, and that was by design. Like, I wanted my kids to enjoy anime so that I could watch anime recklessly without, you know, like resistance. Oh, I really don't want to watch anime. Oh, I really enjoy anime too. Let's go do that. That sounds great. Yes.
So
you know?
my youngest is into anime, and as I've expressed to you before, like I'm very fussy and I really don't like cartoon, but I thought, no, I'll do something that pleases him and I'll sit and do it. So we came up with an analogy. He'll pick a couple that he likes and I'll, you know, watch 5-10 minutes and I'll say, yeah, I can watch that one with you, and then off we go. So I stepped out of self, and not to people please, but to spend time with him in something that he enjoys, even though I don't necessarily want to do it or, you know, will enjoy it. But I actually ended up liking it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So Delphine, so I was distracted just for a moment. What about Jake's show in the AM? Sherie should wake up with us. Sherie lives in Australia. To those who may not be aware, it is currently lunchtime.
It is lunchtime.
Like 11, 12?
And we have to be, it's 1:45.
1:45.
So your 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time is my 12 o'clock lunchtime, noon.
Yes. So, this is video evidence that Recovering Addict is global. Just keep that in mind. But another part of the trust and relationship building process was learning, educating myself in a new parenting method called TBRI, trust-based relational intervention. And that's how I parent. I give my children choices. I attend to their sensory needs. I allow them to have input. I give them advanced notice for tasks that need to be completed. Advanced notice if changes in the schedule are going to be made.
Yes,
that's why I've worked very hard to Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'm at Iron House doing the RA meeting. And I got paid on Friday. Why? I'm in the middle of a fucking live stream.
See, I love it.
There's a hair tie. There's a hair tie at the top of my list spot. I'm in the middle of a live stream.
You got 30 minutes, buddy, and you'll have Dad's undivided attention.
It's like 12 minutes, buddy. Pal. Oh, buddy, pal. Friend. Come on, amigo. That's Sherie. We're talking to Sherie on the internet.
Look how
What time is Family Dollar? Family Dollar is already closed. On Sunday? Well, we'll go here in about 12 minutes. Dickhead. Okay. So, what is that? Did you mute yourself?
No, I was just trying to laugh really quietly.
Well, all right. Everything I was going to say is gone. Like, I have no idea where I was. I don't know where I am right now. So it's your turn.
For me, it was just the main thing was to be honest, even if they didn't like what I was going to say. To show them that this program teaches you have to be brutally honest. And so I went from having that, being a good friend buddy, to not doing that anymore and actually parenting. But to build the trust, it takes time and it takes consistency. And to allow them in, open. I've always been open anyway. I said to them, no matter what happens or whatever you do, you be honest to me and I'll support you, even if it's bad. There will be consequences, sure, but I will stand by you as long as I know the whole story. So I've always had that. You can come to me with whatever, no matter how bad, and I will help you because I love you and I will always be there.
You know, that brutally honest reminded me. So I don't like, I pay attention to what I say, right? And there are times when a topic is brought up that may be a little bit more sensitive, perhaps, you know, one of those evocative cues that like triggers a negative emotional reaction. And like I used to like tread lightly, you know, and by no means am I saying that now I just sort of like run through like a bowl in a china shop. But when those things happen, it's an opportunity to help my children work through this event. You know, like
yes, you can still.
They're
be
upstairs
tactful.
arguing right now. I was just.
You can still be tactful and considerate, and you don't have to tell the whole thing, you know. And again, it brings into account what ages they are. You know, what I can tell my oldest is converse with her compared to my youngest.
Mm-hmm.
It's on a different level. But now, you know, they're getting older, and so, you know, 2 years in, he's got 2 years older and wiser. So it's not as difficult trying to work out what you can say to him and you can only say to her, for example. The best way is to watch the cues on how they're reacting, you know, and it's not about withholding information. It's just about, oh, that's beautiful. Is that a swan? Not taking in. I'm sorry, I'm getting sidetracked.
Well, Drake made it.
Beautiful, Drake. You can send that in the envelope to me when I order my dog tags and my lighter.
You know those were supposed to be a secret? I didn't know they were supposed to be a secret. And if I did know they were supposed to be a secret, I don't think I caught the fact that they were supposed to be a secret. I'm going to see how many times I can fit secret into the next 30 seconds.
Oh,
you know,
the cat out the bag.
like I set that cat on fire in the bag. I messed that up.
What?
Either way, I let the cat out of the bag. You know, there was no bag. I like booted the door down. But it was supposed to be a secret. What?
Oh, I thought you.
We were passing them out all willy-nilly on Friday. I thought it was cool. I thought everybody knew. You know, I was excited to. I just got overexcited. I got overexcited. The dog tags and you know this stuff, like the new merch.
That's
like,
right. You'll have to go off and make your immediate amends.
It was weird that you said that the cat was fired.
Oh yeah. This is an awesome swan. Is this for me?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. I'll add it to the other swans that your brother made me like 2 years ago. See? I have a row of them up there. I love you, baby. Busy night. You know, and in response to this, you know that's not true, Michelle. But anyway, where were we before all of this fuckery?
I don't know.
That was a lot. A lot just happened. You know.
Lots of interruptions today.
I don't know. It's I've been waiting for the dog to try to climb into my lap, but that hasn't happened. You know, I guess that happens in the morning, and you know.
Yeah, but what I find sometimes is you've put it out there and then you watch in another minute or two, the dog will be coming over and it's like, what?
Well, she's right here at my feet. I think she's...
Yeah, I keep trying out because she started to bark.
Okay, she breathed. Okay, she's not dead. She's an old girl. You know. So, let's take it from the top, roll the opening. That sounds like an excellent idea. Okay.
We're lost. Help us out, guys.
It's over. It's over. You know. Let's consult the chat.
Okay.
You know. So how's everybody? You know, what is who has kids in the chat? You know, I know Tracy, the LT police, scrolling up through this thing. You know, Josette was at Recovery Days and got a dog tag. That's awesome. Josette has kids. You know, and how is 9?
Wow, you go.
Tracy's been busy.
You've been really busy.
Super busy. Debbie's got 2, you know, and so like this, I have stepdaughter. I almost said his real name. And when they were younger, they always took up the bathroom for 2 hours each. What are you doing in the bathroom for 2 hours?
Oh, they're making themselves pretty.
For 2 hours?
Smelling nice.
Like, I blame it. Like that is the homeowner's fault. Whoever owns the home and allows the stepdaughters to be in the bathroom for 2 hours is at fault, because there is such a thing as mirrors, vanities. You know, you can, here you go. Like, I like to poop occasionally during the day. You know, I got you this thing so you can do your whatever it is that you're going to do in your bedroom, so that the bathroom is not occupado. You know.
Yeah, but you can't have your hair dryer and your makeup and everything in your bedroom. You have to do it in the bathroom.
Why?
It's a girl thing, because it's proper lighting, and then you're not going to
proper lighting
everywhere in your room. You can clean it up. Look, I don't have a very big, you know, what's it called? Regime here. I just get up, brush it, and off I go. You know, but some women spend a lot of time grooming and making themselves look beautiful, you know. Oh, look, I actually put a flower in today. That was my effort. Look, a flower for the Recovering Addict family.
Yeah, I guess I don't know.
Makeup, and, you know, some women spend an hour putting makeup on. I don't understand it personally. Everybody has their own way.
He sent one of his daughters a bill for $15,000 and she won't pay it.
You know, like, I'll give you another example. My sons, one of them spends 35 minutes in the shower, you know, with all his music and carrying on. I go, you can't have that much dirt on you. The other one's in there, he has a normal 5-minute shower. Unless he's washing his hair, it takes a bit longer, but you know, everyone has a different schedule. Now, back in Australia, you know, like probably 5-6 years ago, we had a drought. So you had to limit your showers. You're only allowed to have a 2-minute shower.
I'm not familiar with that. Like here in Utah, whenever I see the signs, they're like, oh, we're in drought conditions. This really, I still get to drink water. I still shower. I still do all of these things. I don't understand like why everybody's so freaking out about drought conditions. Like, I don't.
How bad it is. But like probably 20, 25 years ago, how old am I now? Probably 20 years ago.
You're too old to remember your age.
I'm 51. That's right. I remember now.
What did you just say? What did you say?
20 years ago,
And how old are you now?
I'm 51.
51. I thought you said 61. I was like, holy. I was just checking. I was just fact checking.
Okay, so 20 years ago, we had a really bad drought in Australia. And so the Aussies, Des is here, he will know. You weren't allowed to water your lawn. You were only allowed to shower every second day, and you were timed for 1 minute each shower.
How?
That's how bad it got here. And
how?
It was like that for a good 12 months. Maybe.
But how? How did they time it?
Well, we didn't want to run out of water, so that was the strategy to ensure that we could still have drinking water.
Oh. Well, I didn't know if there was like some like really like federal regulations where they like put sensors and I don't know, I suppose.
Oh, no. It was all honesty based.
Oh, okay.
You know, so some farms don't even have water connection. They have rain tanks, and they have to live off the water that they collect in their tank for their drinking and their showering and their farm animals. You know, the sheep and cattle have to use it too.
Interesting. Interesting.
We could do a whole show just on the differences between the Aussies and the Americans.
They have an agent in each person's bathroom with a stopwatch. Some shifty dude shows up with a stopwatch. Water catchment is like a huge dam. So
yeah, sorry, I just totally got off topic then, didn't I?
Yeah, that was interesting. So, well, that's an hour.
Wow, that surprised me.
Yeah, that's an hour and my phone's about to die.
Okay.
So
we'll do the Serenity Prayer.
Serenity Prayer. Misread. You said misread Shifty. Like I also misread Shifty. No.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, Michelle said some shifty dude shows up with a stopwatch to time the shower. Hour,
yeah,
2 minutes and 14 seconds to be exact. You know, so here we go. Who are we not? God, grant us the serenity to accept the things we cannot change, the courage to change the things we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Amen.
Amen.
So, John says, we recover better together by staying safe, staying sane, staying strong, and staying sober. You're worth it. Good night, family. I love you all.
We are worth it. Thank you, JV.
Yes, thank you, JV.
I'm coming on your show next.
I think I'd like to take a venture forward. You know, that sounds like an experience.
Yes. Let's do it.
Wait, no, you didn't. You didn't on what? What did you send me a message on? On Facebook? In the Discord? I turned all my notifications off to the Discord. Here we go.
That doesn't bing, 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 bing at you. Yes,
Yeah.
and I will make it. I'm home on Friday, which will be 10
6
o'clock.
p.m. Mountain Standard.
Friday.
Talking about the
for me. So
wellness?
I'll be there, you will see me.
Yeah. So, okay. So don't put yourself in a high risk situation. Stay strong, stay savage, work your programs. And remember, we recover better together. I was completely unprepared. There we go. And go.